Just like we approach the head, we are going to begin by outlining essential loops for the body. Start by creating a cylinder. In the attributes, go to the caps tab and disable caps. Set the height segments to 1 and rotation segments to 12. Make the object editable. Move it into place around the shoulder area and tweak the shape to follow the natural form of the shoulder. This will become a foundational loop for our body mesh. Now make a second cylinder with the same settings. Height segments 1, rotation segments 12. No caps. Make it editable and position it around the hip area. Adjust the geometry to follow the contour of the hips. Group both cylinders under the main topology object in your hierarchy. Select all three objects and use Connect Objects plus Delete to merge them into a single mesh. If the resulting axis isn't centered, enable Axis Mode, reset the coordinates to 0, then disable Axis Mode again. Ensure snapping is active. We'll use 3D snapping and polygon snapping throughout the process. Create the torso strip. With the polygon pen, begin adding 3 faces just beneath the chest area. These are polygons 1, 2, and 3. Extend the strip with 2 more polygons, reaching around to the middle of the side. Now connect this section to the arm using 2 more polygons that represent the armpit. You'll now have a polygon strip that loops around the torso. 10 polygons in total, 5 on each side. Repeat this same approach on the back. Build 5 polygons, 2 for the sides directly connected to the arm and 3 across the back. Make sure the 2 central vertical edges are lined up properly. This is important because these loops will connect directly into the leg loops. Now link these with 2 new polygons on each side and build another pair on the front area. Building around the hip and pubic region. Before doing more on the back, we'll form a loop around the glute area. If the polygons appear stretched, create a support edge loop here to help even out the geometry. Use 2 more polygons to bridge the upper loops. From here, extend the loop around the hips toward the pubic area, eventually circling the pelvis. Turning off symmetry as it's tricky in this area and work manually to close the loop. Next, form 2 polygon paths that begin from the lower pubic edges and wrap around to connect to the back. Because it is difficult to handle 2 loops simultaneously, create 1 polygon near the groin and carefully pave a strip through the area. Use the line cut to split a polygon and merge the loops together. Build a polygon loop around the bud, then add a parallel loop beside it. Close the open area with two polygons that bridge the bud to the lower back. If there are leftover points, add two edge loops using line cut. Connect those points to seal the geometry. Smooth out the loops for clean edge flow. If any areas like the waist or hip look stretched, insert edge loops for more density. Adjust the neck base by selecting those vertices and moving them downwards. To scale the neck properly, you might need to change the pivot. Activate Enable Axis, adjust the pivot to the neck center, zero the X coordinate, then disable Axis mode again. Re-enable snapping and refine the neck area. Add a loop around the neck. Connect them with the front. To connect the arms, create 4 more polygons. Add edge loops here with loop pass cut. If points don't snap to the surface correctly, use the polygon pen to adjust them gently. Build another loop at the bottom of the chest. Add support loops and create 3 connecting polygons for a rounded result. Aim for even, square-shaped quads. Continue building up the chest area with parallel loops. When you encounter a 5-sided hole pentagon, create an edge loop and 2 polygons to close it. Double check your topology. Now let's apply the same logic to the back. Build 4 loops, snapping points neatly to the surface. If you ended up with a hexagon, close it using 2 quads. Extrude the arm loop twice, once for the elbow, once for the wrist, and shape it. For the fingers, I'll start with a basic box modeling approach. Begin with a cube, convert it to editable geometry. Delete the bottom polygon, then select all remaining faces and apply a subdivision. This new shape will serve as the base form for a fingertip. Select the boundary edge, lower it slightly, Switch to model mode and position the finger where it belongs. Turn on reference planes so you can fine-tune the finger shape accurately. Add an edge loop through the middle of the finger and refine the shape. I start with the middle finger, then duplicate it in model mode to create the index and pinky fingers. Each finger loop contains 8 quads, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and 2 for each side. Line up the fingers side by side. Select all 3, right-click, and choose Connect Objects plus Delete. Switch to the polygon pane and create 4 quads to bridge the fingers together. Double-click the boundary edge to select it, hold Ctrl or Command on Mark, and extrude the loop toward the palm area. This will link to the wrist geometry later. Then double-click the edge loop at the wrist and extrude it towards the fingers, so it sits near the middle of the hand. Move the finger geometry close to the hand. Select both objects and use Connect Objects plus Delete. Check the polygon count. The back of the hand has 10 quads on each side, but the wrist only has 12 total, so we'll need to reconcile those counts. I start by joining obvious matches, like the central loops, and tweak them with the grab brush so they follow the blocking mesh nicely. Using the polygon pen, I create only 2 quads for each side at first, leaving space between fingers for easier rigging. Sometimes loop counts won't match up exactly between fingers and wrists. In that case, I temporarily close the gap with a close polygon hole. Then experiment with a line cut to manually draw edges that extend loops from the fingers into the palm. Do the same underneath the hand. Join loops at the center, close gaps, then cut in new edges. I want 2 extra loops for the thumb area. Remove a set of polygons in that spot. Round the hole and reuse the index finger geometry for the thumb. Copy-paste and move it into position, using soft selection to refine the opening. Then rotate it and place it so loops flow naturally into the palm. Use stitch and sew to connect the boundary edges, holding Shift to snap points together. Add an extra vertex to convert triangles into quads. redirect loops by cutting perpendicular edges, effectively rerouting the flow without adding unnecessary complexity. Mirror these adjustments on the back of the hand. Once the hand topology is complete, smooth shapes with the grab brush, keeping loops even and flowing natural curvature. For the leg, extrude from the hip to the knee, adjust, then extrude to the ankle, and finally to the ground. Shape the foot arch, hide the blocking mesh, and extrude polygons forward the toes. From the underside, delete unwanted faces. Add two loops along the foot with a loop pass cut. Close the sole with a closed polygon hole and split it with line cut. Once the sole is clean, use extrude inner to insert and reinforce it. A quick subdivision friendly way to close openings with quads. Adjust proportions, add a loop at the bottom for the ground plane and one at the ankle. Zero out the X position for center points. With the symmetry in local X mode, you can refine arms and legs evenly. Make the symmetry object editable and perform final cleanups. Once 3D model is complete, we can now put it into close in Marvel's Designer and bring it to life with the conversational AI plugin in Unreal Engine. So we will be able to chat with it.